This is Win News.
Tonight, Melbourne Cup colour trackside at Kembla Grange. The Murray Stables win big on Cup Day. And a teenager faces court over a 6-hour siege at Berkeley. Good evening, I'm Jeff Phillips. Also in this bulletin, a man charged for assaulting Wollongong Lord Mayor Gordon Bradbury. And calls for the state government to cement Port Kembla as a permanent cruise ship destination. The Illawarra may be a long way from Flemington, but Kembla Grange put on a spectacular day for the biggest race in the nation. Punters and fashionistas were out in full force embracing the annual Melbourne Cup.
Racegoers in their thousands flocked to Kembla Grange to embrace the nation's heart-stopping race.
I love it every year.
Here to have a good time and a punt and see if we can win some money.
Others just enjoyed a day sitting trackside.
I don't know who's racing today and I don't really care.
You could spot the racing enthusiasts from miles away studying the form guide for weeks in preparation.
I like Caulfield Cup form, basically that's how it is. And the last time a horse won the Caulfield Melbourne Cup double was in 2001. So it's due for it again.
While some simply relied on
my gut. I'm from America. This is my first experience, so it's quite fascinating.
Today is the biggest day of the year for bookmakers, with over $300,000 being betted away.
And that's just at Kembla Grange. $140 million was spent nationwide. And the stakes were just as high in fashions on the field, with it being a 2-horse race for best dressed.
It was very, very difficult to come up with the 4 winners.
My mother-in-law actually made my hat and she's helped me pick this whole outfit together, and I really like white and gold.
The men also turned it on with their dapper ensembles, all the way from their hats to their socks.
The flower and the hat, they really liked.
Oh, a total of about 20 minutes. But yeah, a bit of help from your mate to put the tie on and stuff, and yeah, 20 minutes is all it takes.
But there were some that kept it pretty casual. When the clock struck 3, all eyes turned to Flemington. As the horses raced down the final stretch, the energy was palpable. But it was German Almandin that romped home the cup.
Number 17 for the win!
Good, I won first and second.
My wife won, but I didn't.
Melbourne Cup has once again shown there's something for everyone. Kimberly Pratt, Win News.
As you can see, the Melbourne Cup is not all about winners. Reporter Kimberly Pratt spoke to some hopefuls to get their tips before the big race.
Kembla Grange is alive with fascinators and form guides, and we're here to find the secrets on how to back a winner. Who have you put your money on?
Oh, just anyone that's got pretty stars and a bit of pink in them. That's the go for today, I think.
The colours are too easy to choose. I just like the name. Sometimes it just rings a bell.
Who have you got your money on today?
Don't shoot the barman.
And why is that?
Well, you don't want to shoot the barman because we're all here to have a beer, so why not?
Surely it's not all about great colours and a standout name. I'm heading to the pros. Gordon, who have you got your money on?
Well, I'm in the Melbourne Cup. I'm going for number 12, which is Jamaica. And that horse has won the Caulfield Cup. And the form out of the Caulfield Cup is usually very good.
Who are you backing in the Melbourne Cup?
I'm going to go for Big Orange today.
And why is that?
I've heard it's going to rain down in Melbourne and possibly some hail, so I've heard it's a good runner in the rain, so looking forward to that.
These guys tell me that they've got the hot tip. Who are we putting our money on?
We're going probably Bondi Beach. There's a couple of roughies in there, probably Who Shot the Barman, and I'd throw in the Marshall as well.
Well, it looks like these punters are in for a big win, or at least a big night.
Yeah! A man has today been granted bail after sparking a 6-hour police siege in Berkeley yesterday. Police say the 19-year-old was seen carrying a pistol on the streets. That turned out to be a replica firearm. The defendant's lawyer argued his client has a borderline intellectual disability that contributed to the incident.
Heavily armed Special Forces police stormed this home in Bristol Street in Berkeley early yesterday afternoon. Hours later, reinforcements were called in, while neighbours were evacuated with police fearing their safety. Today, the court was told the siege had allegedly been sparked by 19-year-old Aidan Rushmere. Witnesses called 000 after allegedly seeing a shirtless Rushmere yelling and waving what appeared to be a pistol on the street. Police will allege Rushmere entered the Bristol Street home before waving the firearm outside of a window when police arrived. He was arrested at the scene, but police continued the siege, worried there was potentially a second gunman inside, the ordeal lasting 6 hours. Prosecutors today argued Rushmere should not be released from custody because he was already on bail for a separate violence matter, and that yesterday's incident required many officers, was costly and caused great community alarm. However, the magistrate took into account the man's mental capacity and ordered him to adhere to a curfew. Rushmere will reappear in court on January 10 on one count of possessing an unauthorised pistol. Caitlin Dugan, Win News.
The man charged with injuring Lord Mayor Gordon Bradbury last week was arrested in Coffs Harbour yesterday. 44-year-old Garth Popple is suspected of attacking a woman in Coniston before turning his attention to the 65-year-old. He was charged with assault and fronted Coffs Harbour local court. He's due to appear in Wollongong court tomorrow. Police have confirmed it was a 69-year-old man who was killed in a fiery crash south of Nowra on Sunday. The man was driving a utility towing a boat when he collided with a jeep on the Princess Highway at Wondandian around 12:30 p.m. A 63-year-old male driver of the second car was airlifted to St George Hospital in a serious condition. The hospital could not give an update on his condition today. In the wake of Radiance of the Sea's maiden voyage to Port Kembla, Wollongong Labor candidate Paul Scully is calling for the government to include the port on its 10-year cruise development plan. The document is yet to be finished, but Scully says the government should ride the wave created in the Illawarra by the Royal Caribbean liner.
Destination Wollongong says Port Kembla's foray into the cruise business was by all accounts a success.
The phone hasn't stopped ringing since Sunday afternoon, and there's a massive interest in how Wollongong can continue to grow and facilitate the growth that's required in the cruise industry nationally.
The question now is whether the event, which saw thousands of passengers greeted by thousands more locals, will put Port Kembla firmly on the cruise map. Paul Scully thinks it should.
We've shown that Wollongong is willing, ready and able to host visitors here. More cruise ships mean more visitors, and more visitors mean more local jobs. So we have to be part of the future of the cruise industry in New South Wales.
To promote key regional sectors and competitiveness, the state government sought to devise a 10-year New South Wales cruise development plan. That was 2 years ago. Scully today criticised the government for not yet releasing the cruise plan, saying now is the perfect opportunity.
I'm saying Port Kembla shouldn't be ignored. And that's the key point. The Baird government ignores us enough, and they need to make sure that Port Kembla is part and parcel of its future strategy when it comes to the cruise industry.
We are including tourism and cruise as this is a cruise destination already. The port's planning can adjust accordingly, and I will support it to the nth degree.
Minister for Tourism Stuart Ayres said in a statement the government is continuing to develop a long-term cruise plan for New South Wales to increase capacity in Sydney Harbour and increase awareness of regional ports like Port Kembla, adding the strategy is being developed with agencies and industry with a view to completion by early next year. Sydney Pede, Win News.
The Reserve Bank has left interest rates at a record low of 1.5% for the third straight month. It's after rates fell in August when the bank lowered its cash rate from 1.75%. Reserve Bank Governor Philip Lowe says he has confidence the economy will continue to grow at its potential rate before gradually strengthening. Business confidence remains strong in the Illawarra, but according to the latest New South Wales Business Chamber Business Conditions Survey, skill shortages need to be addressed. Close to a quarter of respondents said they don't have access to suitably skilled staff. The survey asked participants to assess current and expected levels of performance, with a third of Illawarra respondents reporting an increased profit for the September quarter, while close to 40% had an increase in total sales revenue. Still to come on Win News, the second online grooming case in a week prompts a warning from police, and a young man returns from one of the toughest treks in honour of our soldiers. Police are reminding parents to always monitor their teenagers' activity online. The warning follows the arrest of a 23-year-old Tarrawanna man who allegedly indecently assaulted a 13-year-old girl after befriending her online.
Police are urging parents to always keep up to date with what their kids are doing online. That could mean taking extra steps to monitor their teenagers' use of the internet and social media.
Being a parent myself, it is quite scary, and these people, they trick the kids into saying things or posting inappropriate images of themselves. And once that's posted, they can't get it back.
Wollongong Police have a unit dedicated to teaching kids online cyber safety at local schools. They suggest both parents and kids take a look at the website thinkyouKnow.org.
Be friends with their kids online and be monitoring what they're doing online. If they have a desktop computer, have it in a place in the house where it's easily accessible by the parents. It's not in a bedroom.
The renewed message comes after a Tarrawanna man allegedly used a fake account to request information and photos from a teenage girl. It was further alleged he met the girl in July, threatened to release the photos of her and indecently assaulted her. The 23-year-old man has been refused bail, charged with 3 counts of indecent assault and possessed child abuse material. Caitlin Dugan, Win News.
A Woonona High School student has returned home from 10 days, reliving the experience of Australian soldiers in World War II by taking on the Kokoda Trail. Jay Archer was the winner of the Woonona RSL Scholarship and says it's an experience he's unlikely to forget.
It's a journey relatively few have endured, a gruelling 96 kilometres of rugged terrain through the jungle of Papua New Guinea. Jay Archer knows the Kokoda Trail isn't for the faint-hearted.
It's really challenging mentally and physically, probably even more mentally. Physically you're exhausted, and also being away in the middle of nowhere really.
Win News caught up with Jay as he was preparing for the trip, which he and around 30 other young leaders undertook in September. 10 days of arduous trekking across the Kokoda Trail and all the history that goes with it.
All leftover grenades and mortars, and there was an old Japanese helmet there, and just being able to look around the landscape and seeing him point to where actual things happened, it was pretty crazy.
The hospitality of the locals also having a lasting effect.
They had next to nothing compared to what we have, and it kind of makes you appreciate what we got.
Jay was the first student to be sponsored by the Woonona RSL to do the trek, in the hope he'd get an understanding of the hardship soldiers faced in the 1942 battle against the Japanese.
Just gives them the opportunity to learn a little bit about hardship and a little bit about leadership and working hard, struggling with a bit of adversity to achieve what they want.
A powerful experience Jay's unlikely to forget.
We saw the war memorial and all the graves, and it kind of put together all the sacrifice that all our people have made for our country.
Sydney Peed, Win News.
Barrel's Yalla's O'Meara Architecture Studio has been selected to design the Southern Highlands Community Hospice. Residents have long campaigned for a hospice in the region, with money being raised for the project through hospice shops and donations since 2012. The purpose-built 10-bed facility will be constructed in Barrel Street on land owned by a local orthopaedic surgeon, opposite Southern Highlands Private Hospital. Once the design is complete, the development application will be submitted to Council. It's hoped the hospice will be open by mid-2018. Goulburn's wastewater treatment plant will get an upgrade with help from the federal government. Construction will get underway later this month, with hopes the first stage will be done by Christmas next year.
Goulburn's current wastewater treatment plant was built in 1918, and now after almost 100 years, it's time for an upgrade.
It doesn't satisfy our environmental licence requirements anymore, and also the growth of the town. So we're very fortunate. We've been working now for about 5 years on upgrading a new treatment plant.
The project helped along thanks to the injection of $10 million from the federal government's National Stronger Regions Fund, with stage 1 of the upgrade to cost close to $30 million.
We want to make sure that the federal government is supporting our regional cities and our regions, and infrastructure is absolutely crucial to supporting growth and sustainability of this region.
One of the major reasons the Goulburn-Mulwaree Council is building the new wastewater treatment plant is to accommodate for significant population growth expected over the next 20 years.
Of course, this poor old facility that we have here has reached its peak, so obviously we've got to make provision for that future growth.
The new plant will feature state-of-the-art technology with the treated effluent to be at a standard that is almost drinkable. It will be used to irrigate sporting fields, parks and gardens throughout Goulburn, with hopes as the town expands, the reusable water can cater for homes.
We're definitely looking at future developments when they come to town, that this product can go out and be the third pipe in those new development areas, which means that it can go into homes to be used for washing machines, used on gardens and toilet flushing and the like as well.
Construction will get underway later this month with plans for the plant to be up and running in just over a year. Alison Hatley, Win News.
24 hours behind a table tennis paddle is a long time to keep your eye on the ball. But that's just what the family, friends and supporters of young Chloe Saxby have done to help raise awareness for her rare condition. The first serve of the fierce competition started on Friday evening, carry on all through the night and following day. The enormous efforts of the organisers at the Corrimal Community Church and Neighbourhood Hub were all to help one girl and her family. 7-year-old Chloe has vanishing white matter disease, and her family and friends have been fundraising for years to help raise awareness and find a cure. The event raised more than $2,000 for the cause. Sport is next with Amy, and plenty of action at Kembla Grange Racecourse today.
Yes, certainly was, Jeff, and we'll have all the racing action after the break, plus a family affair at the Green Valley mountain bike track. In sport, it was an emotional day for the region's racing fraternity at Kembla Grange Racecourse. While thousands lapped up the fanfare and atmosphere, champion South Coast trainer Bede Murray was remembered as his stables looked to emulate his winning tradition.
Cup day at Kembla and the Murray stables have mixed emotions. After champion trainer Bede Murray died earlier this year, it's the family's first cup without him.
It's a bit hard, you know, we battle on each day. Every time we get a winner and go to the race, we always think he's going to walk in, but, you know, you've got to push on with life, and we're doing that, and it's all been really good.
This year's meet has extra meaning. It's been 15 years since Universal Prince was scratched on race day at the 2001 Melbourne Cup. A heartbreaking decision that left the entire family devastated.
It's unbelievable. It's a long time ago. No, it brings back memories all the time. You know, it's a sad day that we never got there, but it's one that got away, you might as well say.
That moment, a distant memory when the Murray trained a snip of Cindy got up in the I-98 FM maiden handicap. The win a silver lining for a devoted family.
Oh, it just means everything. You know, one day it could lead to a big day in Melbourne, so the little days work out to be eventually come to a big day, so you really love it wherever you go.
It was a hard slog for the local trainers. Gwenda Markwell's bounding Badger, pipped at the post, mowed down by Gerald Ryan-trained Oakfield Costa in a photo in the second. Markwell left for bridesmaid duties in the next as well, Deanne Panya steering Bellavino to first. Illawarra-based Rob Price broke through for the locals, but Aru Knight never looked in doubt in the fourth.
Yeah, what can I say? He was well placed today, drew the right barrier. His first up run was super. Yeah, no, he's a nice little horse.
Jared Constable, Win News.
Illawarra golfer Anthony Brunero has taken out the New South Wales Country Championships in Goulburn. Brunero went into day 2 at the Goulburn Golf Club, 5 shots off the pace, but mastered the tricky conditions to card a 4-under 66 and finished 2 shots clear of the overnight leader and defending champion Dylan
It was
Perry.
really unexpected. I haven't been playing much golf lately, and turned up today and just got the putter going again.
Brunero's win also booked him a place at next weekend's New South Wales Open. It was a big day for the Golf Illawarra team, which also took out the 2016 Country Teams title. The Wynett family has made it a clean sweep of the junior and elite women's downhill events at the East Coast mountain bike titles. Sisters Kelly and Rachel were 2 of the star performers at the Green Valley mountain bike track as the track was flooded with top-class riders.
3 years after it was launched for the first time, the Wollongong Mountain Bike Club's marquee all-ages event continues to go from strength to strength. Hosted at the Green Valley's mountain bike track, 180 keen riders from across New South Wales and the ACT tore up the track for a weekend blitz. Among them, the home club's Cassie Voisey, who spent the days leading up to the event in hospital due to injury.
This is like the first time back racing.
So I've been out for like 3 weeks, so it's pretty good to be back racing float and downhill this weekend at East Coast Titles.
Riders as young as 5 took to the 2-day event, starting with an all-mountain race on Saturday.
So it's more of just a gravity-fed trail. They're a lot smaller bikes, less suspension. It's 2-timed runs, and the combination of those times and whoever gets the lowest combinations who wins at the end of the day.
Wine had claimed the women's elite downhill bracket, while Pat Butler won the elite men's. Duke Millington won the under-19 men's division, and Rachel Wine had finished off the family double, taking the junior girls. Results aside, the club says promoting the sport is the main purpose of the event.
It's more of a fun weekend where everybody at every level gets together and has a really good time.
It's the final tune-up for elite classes, with the next event at Cannonball in Thredbo.
It's one of the big races. They're going to have a lot of the big World Cup name riders out racing, and it's going to be a really good event.
Jared Constable, Win News.
After leading the pack into the 5th and final stage of the Bacardi Tour Coronel Bay, surfer Nick Squires has crashed out in an elimination heat to finish 2nd overall. Squires won the DY leg of the tour last month to push into the series lead, but in testing conditions at South Curl Beach, it was Sydney's Blake Thornton and Bondi Carver Perth Standlick who locked horns in the final. Thornton coming out on top, leapfrogging Squires to clinch the series win.
I just sort of came here today thinking just the only chance you got is to win it, and yeah, over the moon. 6 series that Bacardi's put on. Yeah, super pumped to win it for the first year, and looking forward to next year already.
Squires finished 275 points behind Thornton on the overall ladder. And that is our sport, Jeff.
Amy, thank you for that. I'll have your midweek weather details on the other side of the break. Blue skies for the first day of November in Melbourne Cup Day. On tonight's satellite, cloud over eastern New South Wales near a low pressure trough is causing the odd shower, mainly in the northeast corner. Patchy cloud over the far south where the cold front is not producing any rain, while skies are clear over western parts of the state under a high pressure ridge. To the synoptic chart, a high will keep most of the southeast clear except for directing showers into western parts of Tasmania. Temperature-wise today, Wollongong to 21, Nowra reached 23, Bateman's Bay recorded 22, Narooma 19 and 22 was the maximum in Merimbula and Eden. The forecast for the Illawarra on the Highlands, a sunny Wednesday with west to southwesterly winds. For the south coast, a mostly sunny day coming up for you with light winds becoming west to southwesterly. Seas running at 1 to 2 metres on a swell below 1 metre. The first tide tomorrow is low just on 4 o'clock. The high comes rolling in just prior to 10:30. Tomorrow, Eden looking at 20 degrees, Merimbula expecting 21, Bega 23, Narooma and Maria 20, Bateman's Bay 22, Ulladulla 21, Nowra 24, Bowral 20, Wollongong 13 to 22. Further ahead, sunny on Thursday with a top of 24, mostly sunny Friday with a top of 25. A possible shower is forecast for Saturday, but again a top of 25. And that is Win News for Tuesday, the 1st of November. To view some of our reports, visit the Win News Illawarra Facebook page. I'm Jeff Phillips. Thanks for your company. Until 6 tomorrow, good night.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, Regional Australia's #1 news source.